Welcome to the Pressure Beast Podcast.
Nothing beats a smooth internal surface finish.
All right, welcome back to Pressure Beast Podcast.
Today we're going to talk about a little bit what's going on in current events.
Let's talk
Snatching
about
mother homies out of their own country, out of their own bed at 2 o'clock in the morning.
like Santa Claus. He knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake.
They checked that list twice.
Yeah,
Holy
man.
shit.
That was impressive. You know, he did end with 24 special forces what Bush did with 400,000 troops trying to capture Saddam Hussein.
You got to feed that war machine.
I think we're going to end up feeding that war machine. I think we're going
not
boots
with
on the
American
ground.
lives.
Yeah, I think we're going boots on the ground.
We're
We're
going to
going
that Q-tip again.
We're going boots on the ground. We have to, right? And then what comes right after that is a barrage of oil companies coming in there.
Mm-hmm. Good for the industry?
Yes and no, right? So it's kind of a paradox.
Why would you say that?
It's going to drive oil prices down, way, way down.
Which is a good thing for
the consumer,
the
bad thing
world.
for the oil companies, right? But the oil companies are going to drill like crazy. They're going to make it up in volume versus,
right.
you know. So it's kind of a paradox that, yeah, it's going to be good for everyone in the long run, but
It's specifically good for the United States because Venezuela's got a lot of the heavy oil, which most Texas refineries are designed to crack,
Right.
you know, in a process. Right. So I think it's a good thing. I really do. I to rebuild that kind of infrastructure, that's a decade's worth of work.
oh yeah, absolutely.
You
I believe it. You know,
I heard the other day that they've got zero ability and capacity to capture any of the natural gas. They flare off almost every bit of the natural gas. And it was put, from what I heard, that they flare enough natural gas that they could supply the entire country of Colombia with their energy needs. That means the infrastructure for gas compression companies and gas exports and LNG, it's going to be amazing. I think we're going to see a boom in the ASME pressure vessel industry probably for the next 3 years from this acquisition is what I'd like to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to come quick.
Yes.
Yeah, it has to, right?
Like you mentioned the other day, we got midterms coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Running up on midterms, we can't be engaged in a war. We have to be very profitable by that time so that Trump can guarantee the midterms go the right way.
No pun intended.
But yeah, so I think it's going to happen quickly. I think there's going to, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to put boots on the ground real quick.
You know what I don't hear very many people talking about. The best damn thing out of this is the Venezuelan people. They are going to be able to get their country back, get back to a standing that they've got a quality of life.
You know, in the 80s, they were one of the biggest, fastest growing economies. They were bigger than China, economy wise. Yeah. And socialism just raped them.
We're about to see New York in the same bucket, but hopefully they do better.
A little easier to flee that area.
Call that little Venezuela.
But you know, we'll find out. To my knowledge, there's not a single socialist regime anywhere in the world that has ever been successful.
No, but this I think is going to be the first domino that falls that allows us to show the rest of the world. Straighten up. Colombia's got to get their shit together. Cuba's got to get their shit together. Otherwise, there's going to be a whole lot of freedom delivered over there, you know?
Yeah, Colombia's about to be get their freedom.
Get their freedom?
Yeah, they're about to.
You know, I've always wanted to go to Colombia. You know,
some cocaine.
cocaine and hookers, man. What's that famous drug lord down there? Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
I've just always been a fan of his. Not for what he did, but how he did it. No, that didn't come out right. The ability to create something that is that large, and he had everything against him, his own country, the rest of the world, but he was still one of the biggest drug dealers. I mean, there's something to admire about a business sense of what he was able to accomplish from a business sense with everything basically being illegal, right? So he had no one really helping him other than other cartels, but still.
You think about that, that's how most countries are formed, right? He had to form his own army. He had to form his own government, his own hierarchy, everything else. That is the basis. That's the seed of government. That's the seat of a country.
Shit, he even ran. He was in office.
Was he?
Yes, he was. Our terms would be like a senator or a congressman. Yeah, but he actually got elected, and then he was blackballed. There's a show on I think it's Netflix. It was a TV series, I think maybe in Colombia or something like that about it. It was like, I don't know, 8 seasons or something. Anyway, I binge watched that thing for a month or so. Great show. But they basically take from his childhood up to his death.
Really?
Yeah.
See the one that had the cocaine hippos?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
I want a cocaine hippo.
I would rather have something else on cocaine than a hippo. I mean, they're bad enough as there are, man.
Well, there was that bear that was the number 1 apex predator in the world for about 30 minutes when he found the brick of cocaine.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure we can air this episode anywhere because we're using the word cocaine so much, but I think they frown upon. No, I don't know that we can use any of this content anymore, but we'll figure it out.
What are they going to do? Put us in timeout?
Yeah.
Been there
Spank
before.
us. Spank us.
Harder, Daddy, harder. But anyway, I think it's going to be good for the industry. This whole issue. I think it's going to be good for the world.
I think the pressure rest of the world is going to see a boom real quick. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's long before the orders start rolling in. You know, we had American oil companies down there. We had we had gas compression companies down there. And what they did was essentially come out and say, hey, you got about 24 hours to get out of here and leave all your equipment. And of course, they didn't know how to run it or maintain it or anything else. So,
which is going to be interesting is the other thing I thought of was a couple things, right? Well, obviously, we got an energy shortage, right? With the whole AI boom, servers and electric cars and robots and all that, right? So the grid, how is the grid going to be handled, right? To increase manufacturing, I'm sure it's a drop in the bucket. But if every shop in the country were to start to light off, right, within the next couple of years, you know, the economy just kind of take off running. The two things that kind of, not so much of the energy side of it, I think that the grid and all that can handle it, but the consuming side of the material, right? I mean, the lead time for heads is way out there, formed heads. Material, I mean, I know we've got a couple plants up and running now, or they're getting up and running. I know Japan partnered with us on one steel mill, but
it's supposed to be the largest in the world or something of that nature.
I don't know
right?
a whole lot about it, other than I think it was Japan we did a deal with.
Yeah.
The hearing. But that would be interesting because as fast as they may want to move, the material, something's got to be the bottleneck. And I think the material shortage might be a bottleneck, right? And then you got tariffs on top of that. So if we start importing all those heads, like from, you know, the big guys down in Mexico, you know, it's just going to be expensive in long times.
I think real quick, our our energy is going to become the bottleneck. And I don't know if we talked about it on here. If we have, you're welcome. I want to talk about it again. But there's a new nuclear power startup.
A couple of them.
Yeah. So the one going in Kansas is the prototype, right? Little town out in Kansas has a old ammunition plant out there that they are drilling 36-inch boreholes a mile deep. All right. I'm guessing they're encasing them in concrete and whatever else they have to do to prevent radiation leakage. But they're dropping nuclear reactors down this mile deep borehole, filling it with water. And the head pressure just essentially feeds that nuclear reactor. Steam bubbles up and turns turbines or however they're going to utilize the steam, and then it condenses, falls back into the hole. They said they can get up and running within like a year per facility, and they last about 7 years. Now, they're planning on launching the first ones in Kansas this year, I believe. And they plan on putting them outside of every data center for the power. I don't know how much power they can actually generate, but you figure if you put enough of them, then you can make as much power as you want. My question is the radiation leakage into the ground, you know, groundwater, shit like that. But it's an actual project going into Parsons, Kansas here real quick.
As long as they can engineer a protection from an earthquake. Because if an earthquake were to come and shear that sucker in half, and now you're contaminating groundwater at that level, that's a bad
and
deal.
there's earthquakes out there. I used to live right down the road from there, and we would fill them. I
Really?
mean, probably not big enough to do any damage to a fortified well or something of that nature, but enough to give us a little bit of cracking in our walls and
Either
things
that
of
or
nature.
I'm sure they've got it figured out. They've got to.
It's-
It's probably
this is experimental, man. This is
10 feet, 10 feet above. Well, you said 36. The bore's got to be bigger than 36. So maybe the pipe for the reactor is 36, but the bore is probably more than that to give some kind of air gap to be able to allow for flexibility.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I
They
mean?
just said they're drilling 36-inch diameter hole,
Maybe the reactor is only 12 inch,
possibly.
I don't know.
Little reactor.
baby ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll have enough oil.
We'll find out.